Yeah, most definitely. Boys in the Hood really started off with the hood films.
Yeah.
Then Menace. Yeah, see, I can't even say it.
I said
Menace
it's
to
funny.
Society. Then I
It's
can't
hard. It's
even
like a
say
comment.
it.
Menace to
Oh man, Menace to
society.
Society.
All right. What's up, folks? It's RichManZ, richest man on earth, back yet again. What's
Yes,
it?
sir.
There could only be one. Yes, and we're back again for another discussion video, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend. It's GQ Jamaal from
Yes.
GQ. What's going on, bro?
What is up? It is GQ Jamaal, your girlfriend's favorite YouTuber, double O GQ,
Hello, GQ. Hey
Scuba
man, the head's gonna go,
GQ,
man.
Scuba
They
Steve,
gotta go to the air,
Scuba
man.
Steve. Scuba Steve is in the building.
Ladies and gents, we've almost mastered freestyling, so when we do these like intros, man, there's a long list, from both sides. Oh yes.
Hey, my favorite is the one when you say Ricky Ricardo.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
That was just in the back of my mind. I said, okay, what can I use with Rich? I haven't used before. Oh
like
man.
Ricky. No,
Intros, man. It
man.
just heard the last of that. But yes, folks, in this video, me and GQ were speaking off the back of the last video we did. We were thinking like instead of just doing like series, now we could now do movies. So the movies we decided to compare and ultimately at the end distinguish like which is ultimately the better film is 991's John Singleton's classic Boys in the Hood, tremendous film, of course, legendary of cinema, and opposed to 993's hood crime drama film I never said Menace to One Society. Yeah.
Menace to One Society.
Menace to One Society. That would be wild. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Menace to Society, directed by the Hughes brothers. So we got 993's Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood. And we chose this because of the gangster films, which of the crime drama, like you could say hood films, that came out, in the late 80s, early 90s. I think these were the two ones that stood out. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, most definitely. Boys in the Hood really started off with the hood films.
Yeah.
Then Menace. Yeah, see, I can't even say it.
I said it's
Society.
It's hard. It's like a comment. Menace to
Oh man, Menace to Society. Man, Hugh brothers, you picked a title, a hard title to say.
I know.
Pronounce. No, Menace to Society came out a couple of years after Boys in the Hood, and was a great film as well.
Yes, exactly. So like with that being said, like what was your we start a lot of discussions about this. It's like the origins. Like for you, GQ Jamaal, when was the first time you saw both of the films, Boys in the Hood and Menace? I'm just gonna say Menace.
Menace, yeah.
I was just gonna say Menace.
So Boys in the Hood, I think first time I seen Boys in the Hood when I was like in elementary school.
Ooh.
Yeah,
super young.
That was the first time I seen Boys in the Hood. I was like third, fourth, fifth grade, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I was like, yeah, first or second grade. One of those
One of
grades.
them.
But yeah,
Right. So
yeah, one of them grades.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
I
think
remember seeing it on
Mhm.
VHS.
VHS, right? The cassette, the
Yeah,
original cassette players. Yeah, the cassettes.
and I didn't remember much of Boys in the Hood when I was younger, but I remember that sad scene when Ricky got shot.
Who?
But yeah,
Killer shot. Yeah,
oh, man,
that one. Man,
yeah,
it still gets me. If I see that, like,
right,
clip on like Tube, it's like, yeah, especially when you know the story of what leads up to that.
right.
Yeah, he had something big to lose. So that's whew,
Uh,
man.
but as adult, um, it's like one of the best movies
Yeah,
of all time in the
yeah.
'90s. Actually, of all time, to be honest.
Honestly,
Great storyline.
yeah.
Um, a lot had happened during the '90s, especially with like police brutality
Yeah.
and racism,
Yeah.
and just growing up in the ghetto.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, great storyline.
hmm
Boys in the Hood. Yeah, it's one of those movies that you just want to tell your kids.
Yeah. About, I mean, you can definitely like
Right, tell your kids
tell
about.
them, this is how, life used to be for like, young, African Americans, trying to go through the
Hmm.
system. Yeah. Yeah. No,
And
yeah. I believe like I may have watched for me at least I remember watching Boys in the Hood. Same, I watched it way young. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it must have
right,
been like, yeah, it would have been elementary, maybe coming into maybe the last year of elementary. Because when I was in UK, they didn't have middle school. You spend extra years in elementary,
right.
then you go to high school. So I think it was like in between. My last year of elementary, I watched it. But Menace, I didn't see till like high school. You know what I mean? It was like it was a very like hidden, back in Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
I
one.
think I watched. I think I watched Minute. I think I watched Minutes by mistake. I watched it on. I think when it was on BT. They played it on BT when I was like
Okay,
younger. I'm like,
right.
okay, this is kind of darker than Boys in the Hood.
Yeah,
Same, same exact location,
exactly. Similar
right?
area and that,
And
you know what I
Menace is
mean?
like more violent. It's more
Oh
violent
man, we're
than
we're
Boys in the
gonna we're
Hood,
gonna think like definitely, man, like the gore and Menace. We're gonna go into that in detail, folks. Like
right?
how like
Yeah,
real. I'm talking real like menaces to Boys in the Hood. But definitely. But with that being said, when you watched so GQ, when you watched the first times you watched first viewings of like, Boys in the Hood and Menace, what were your first impressions of them, of the films? The first viewings.
it's funny. It's funny for the first viewing for Menace to Society. I didn't watch it like as a whole until I was like at the high school, like because I'm used to seeing it on like BT, but like seeing the actual like director's cut, I'm like, man, great story,
Yeah.
dark. It gets dark at a few times,
Mm-hmm.
but it's sad because it tells a story about the life of Cain. Cain
Yeah, Kanan.
is
Yeah.
product of he's a product of his environment,
Oh, the environment.
and
Yeah.
he's so influenced of yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just sad how his character like died at the end because
Yeah.
Kane was so hard headed.
I know, like yeah,
Finally, he got a chance. Finally, he got
yeah,
a chance
he
to
had a
like move out
chance.
the
He had a
hood.
chance.
Then
He had a chance
boom,
to escape, and he stayed. He stayed.
right?
Like, just a
Yeah,
bonehead move. Bonehead move. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So yeah, with that being said, like first impressions, like and also, what were your first impression of Boys in the Hood? Because you watched Boys first, isn't it?
Yeah, I watched Boyz first.
Boys first, yeah.
Um, Probably the same how I viewed Menace, but
Yeah.
at least Trey got to move out the hood and
Yeah.
so did what was Nia Long's character?
Oh man. You know
I
the
forgot I
funny,
forgot her name.
yeah, I forgot her name
Yeah,
as
she got
well.
to move out the hood too.
Yeah, because she was trying similar, like because we're gonna run through
Yeah.
the characters from both movies, but like Nia Long's character was very similar to Jada Pinkett's in Menace. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like they
Yep.
were both like trying to convince like the leads, like, we gotta get out. This is a dead end like
Right.
environment, and as like the redeeming factor, of like Boyz, like, Cuba Gooding's character, like he's able to escape, at the end.
And I also like Lawrence Fishburne's
Yeah,
character. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love how he tried to
I
give like values to a son,
yeah,
and because not many like African Americans didn't grow up with the dad
with the
without a dad
dads. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with their
That's real
dad,
talk. Yeah, yeah. It's real talk. It's
and he's
not even in just in like in America. It's like even like
mhm,
where I was in Europe. I mean, that's a common thing. Not having like that
right,
lead like father. At the house. And it goes back to what you're saying, like the product of the environment.
yeah,
Like what
and
affected.
Trey
Yeah,
beat the statistics.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, let's run through the characters and the directors. Like the whole. So like we'll start with the directors. What did you feel of, like, because it's interesting, like the Hughes brothers and John Singleton, like this was their, like, if not their first movie, it was their first like
Yeah,
notable movie.
yeah,
Like the one that
yeah.
mostly, yeah,
I think that was John. That was John's first movie,
that was
and
John's
I
first
know
movie.
the Hugh. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know the Hugh brothers. They did like Tupac's music videos
Wow,
before they
we're
did
gonna
Menace.
talk a bit about Tupac. He ties
Yeah.
into both of
Oh,
the
oh, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He ties into both of these
it's
directors a
funny.
lot, so we're
Yeah,
gonna put a section on Tupac on this. The
yeah,
king, one of the kings of hip hop, you know what I mean? But yeah, as you said, yeah, if like for the people who didn't know, like the Hughes brothers directed, I believe it was like Brenda's Got a Baby, of Tupac. I think
right.
this is when he was still, it may have been when he just came out Digital Underground. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep,
Yeah, he just like was
yep.
going in
You're
the
correct.
exactly. So he was going as a single, artist. So the Hughes brothers were doing his early videos until he like really became, Tupac.
Pac, yes.
Yeah, yeah, superstar. So and then like with John Singleton, as you said, I didn't know that. I thought he, directed like movies before. Like there was a big movie before, but Boys in the Hood was his first film.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. And like, he says, so like, John Singleton, what did you feel like of the way like they both directed? Because it can seem very similar when you see both of the movies. I mean, if you just turned it on late at night and the Menace was on Boys, sometimes you feel it's similar because it is dealing with the culture, it's hood. But
Yeah, John.
how did you feel like how they were different, the way they directed both of those films?
So I believe John was trying to like paint these stories, like these man, how should I say this? I mean, how should I say this? It was not always bad, but it was not always good, if that's the right way to say it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
Mm-hmm.
and for like the Hugh brothers, they were more gritty about like for Menace. Menace was more dark.
Whew.
Um, at least for Boys in the Hood, there was
Yeah.
a happy ending, kind of a happy ending.
Yeah. Yeah. It was more of like a we used to watch this back like before. We always used to say like Menace was the hardcore version of Boyz. If Boyz was softcore,
Right.
Menace was hardcore.
Yeah.
Always, it was just like it was just turned up to the max.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing
You could see that the beginning of Menace to Society,
Yeah.
the beginning with Menace set the
In the
tone.
convenience store, yeah.
Yeah.
That kept me like gripped. I was gripped. I was like, yo, what the heck is going on? They just waited to get like, they call it 40s.
Menace started with this random, Menace started with this random conversation. Then like the first 5 minutes, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I don't wonder what this movie is gonna be about.
Yeah, it set the tone, when Lawrence Tate's character is he Old Dog? No, it's Old Dog.
Yeah,
when he pop, when he pops the one behind the counter, when he pops him at the start, and like Tyrone Turner. So Tyrone Turner and Lawrence Tate, they're the main two leads, and like, if you have, the intro, like when they're getting he's getting the bottle, of 40, the beer, and it's like he drops it, boom, shatters, man. I was just like, what is this, man? I'm shocked. You know what I mean? But speaking of the lead,
and he kills that guy, and kills his wife.
Yeah,
steals the tape,
steals the money as well.
Yeah.
Ooh. Complete rough. You know what I mean? That was like a big like a U-turn to the way Boyz n the Hood starts.
Right.
Because Boyz n the Hood it shows them like as their kids. It's like as they grow up into young adults. But like Menace, they already start off as like young adults. So it's very like explosive scene.
Right.
To really start that film. Yeah. Trust. Ooh, what did you think about Tyrone Turner? All right, so if we go like, what did you think of Tyrone Turner and Lawrence Tate, as the leads in Menace?
Lawrence Tate.
Lawrence Tate, yeah,
as a lead.
As a lead, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They're both leads together, isn't that?
Yeah. So Tyrone Turner I think he did a great job playing Kane.
Yeah.
I think that was his breakout role.
Yeah.
That was his breakout. I know he did some parts before that, but that was his like breakout role. Man, Kane was just, like I said, Kane was just a product of his environment.
Yeah.
Hard-headed. But Tyrone Turner did a great job with that character. And as far as Lawrence Tate was just, everybody knows him as Old Dog.
Old Dog, yeah.
Yeah, Old Dog was just a psychopath. He did not care. He did not care about anyone
or anything. He was like a hood psychopath.
No.
Yeah.
Right. And he even got Kane in some stuff.
Yeah.
Like he really didn't care about Kane like that.
Nah.
I mean, I know that was his friend, but no, he was selfish.
He was so completely.
Yeah, Lawrence Tate, he did a great job.
Yeah.
Playing Old Dog. What about you? What do you think about?
Yeah, no, I think that was like Lawrence Tate and Tyrone Turner. I think those were their main, breakouts. I think the film has a lot like breakout and that. I'd only seen Tyrone Turner.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them. I'd seen Tyrone Turner in Hanging Mr. Cooper. He appeared. Yeah. I still have that clip. He appeared in that, and it's Lawrence Tate. He appears in Fresh Prince, but some people don't know. It's the episode when Will's trying to hit on Garcelle. And then Ashley. Same episode when Ashley comes into the high school with Will and Carmen.
Yep.
You know, he's there. Yeah. So you won't know, you know,
And
but
also,
he's there.
he was a character off of Family Matters
Family Matters.
in the
Yeah.
early episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So he was there, but most notably he will be known from Menace, you know. Trust me. But like, yeah,
yeah.
and it's like you got, yeah, like Menace got like a lot. They got what's it? From Menace, they also got MC8.
MC8.
MC8,
Yeah,
you know, that,
he did
yeah,
a thing for Menace to Society.
yeah, he sings, you
Yeah,
know.
straight up Menace.
Man, I think he was a natural, you know, in this film.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it, man. When they were
He's like,
doing
man,
that
give me my
drive-by, it's like,
blood
yo,
back.
man, just come over, man. We need to bounce out of here. My God. It was a natural.
Hey, he said, hey, homie. He said, hey, homie, you need some help? He said, hey, homie, you need some help?
He's so help.
Oh, man.
Shoo. He's a natural, honestly. Then you got
Was that the only movie he did?
man, that's the I to be
I think
if anyone like knows MC appeared in other films, let us know, you know, but like put it in the comments because I have like checked, you know, like if he appeared in I think he may have appeared in some of the TV sitcoms. Maybe it was like one episode he appeared in that, you know, and like the other noble cast, you got Jada Pinkett, you know, Tyrone Turner's love interest, you know. I think Jada Pinkett this time was still on the Different World series.
Yeah, she still had the long braids.
She got exactly, you know, the last two seasons when they revamped Different World, you know, when it came from it, she was there. And the other notable character is I forgot his name. You may know this, GQ. He appeared in Rock, the series Rock. Do you know?
I know who you're talking about.
What you know? What he escapes me.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
I can't get his name.
Yeah,
he's the one who gives that.
Rock.
Yeah, he gives that speech to
Sharif. He was Sharif's dad.
Sharif, even Sharif, like
Sharif was in Boyz in the Hood too.
He was in thing. Yeah, they were both. Sharif was in, but he gives that electrifying speech to Sharif. No, what's it? Tyrone Turner, you know, about like, you know, it's a jungle out there.
That scene was powerful.
Always pray. You gotta survive, you know.
That was like one of the best scenes of that movie.
Oh man, that gives me chills. You know, when he said that, like,
yeah, I think that was the first scene. I think that was the first scene in the trailer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's like, "What you gonna do, Kane? You gonna mess around?"
Yeah. And he talks about his son Sharif. He says at least he's found Islam, but you know, you're gonna go out there and just be like nothing. You know, you got a chance. Get out while you still can. He was giving him like that. You know, you gotta make a move because the path you're on now is gonna just like you ain't gonna go nowhere and to just landing yourself in trouble. You got a chance to get out. He was telling him that, and Tyrone Turner, he wasn't listening.
No, he was not. He was hanging on the cliff.
Yeah,
by that time.
Exactly. Yeah, he was too far gone. You know what I mean? And so if we switch on now back to Boyz in the Hood, what did you think of Cuba Gooding, Morris Chestnut, and Ice Cube? And you could honestly put obviously, yeah. You can put oh my god.
Did you say Cuba Gooding?
Yeah, so Cuba Gooding, Morris Chestnut, Ice Cube, and Morpheus. I was gonna say Morpheus.
He said Morpheus. Oh, Morpheus. All right.
I'm sorry, Lawrence Fishbone. I always remember him as Morpheus. Lawrence Fishbone. Yeah. What did you think of the
Let's talk about Ice Cube because that was his first role.
Yeah.
Ice Cube, that was his first role.
Yeah.
Coming
off the tracks of NWA.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
No, it came straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
Came from that, and he recently left NWA.
Yep.
Had his first album out, then Yeah, for Ice Cube, that was his. I think that was a great job for
Yeah.
his first role.
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, his character. I think because his mom loved Ricky more than he loved him.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was um yeah, he was abused. I mean, he was abused as a
Yeah.
kid. Mom was so negative
I
toward
know.
him.
And he was the
Yeah,
oldest. He was
that
the
was sad.
oldest as
That
well.
was
Like,
sad.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
I know.
His mom was like, "You'll never be squad, and you'll never mount up to anything." I'm like,
Yeah.
man, why you say that to
I
your
know.
son?
It's true. And you know
You're
what?
firstborn.
Yeah, you know what, GQ? I know it's sad, but I know that theme happens a lot in the black community. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I used to see that when I used to go to like my like cousins or like friends of the family, and you would see like how they would treat the eldest, you know, to kind of get them jealous, you know,
Yeah.
of each other. Yeah, which is like and I think Boys in the Hood, like, you know, it showed like a picture, you know, of like real
Right.
that happened, you know. Mm.
Yeah. You know, like you couldn't blame him of how he turned out.
Yeah.
So he wasn't getting love at home. So he just had to like go to the streets.
Yeah.
And far as what Cuba Gooding's character,
Mhm.
Was it Ricky?
Yeah.
No, not no.
No, no,
I'm
Cuba
sorry,
Gooding.
that's Lawrence
Sorry, Bryce
Chestnut.
Chestnut. Yeah.
Trey.
Trey.
Sorry, yeah. Cuba Gooding,
Us-
yeah, Trey. Um, Trey was smart. If I remember, Trey was smart. It was a smart kid.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
His parents was divorced.
Yeah.
His parents was divorced, so he had act out at school. Then, like I said, I love Fishburne.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne's character bringing all the bringing all the values towards Trey, and Trey turned out good,
Yeah. Mhm.
and
What did you
Cuba did a
think,
good job playing
GQ? What
Trey.
did you think about? Sorry to call you. Like, what did you think about him playing the father? Because in real world, like Lawrence Fishburne, he's only like a couple years older than Cuba. You
Yo,
know?
I mean, they pulled it off. They pulled
Yeah.
it off. Just like I know we're going off subject. Just like "Don't Be a Menace"
Bam.
when Sean's yeah,
Yeah,
Sean's
they
dad
make. I
was
think
like
they
17.
make a they,
Yeah.
they make a fun reference of that.
Oh
You know, they make.
yeah.
That was one thing I always after I watched it, I was like, wait, he's only a couple years older, and because he starts off, as I said, he starts off as a kid. You know, then like
Right.
midway, you know, it's actually Trey, Cuba Gooding playing Trey, but they're kids, you know, in the beginning of Boys in the Hood, you know. So I always was like, huh? He's his dad? No, he's brother.
Then when he was getting his haircut, he started lying about the story about him getting a girlfriend or something like that.
Hey man, that girl, I have been trying to find her like online, like you know, Wikipedia, Lipstick Alley thing,
She
you know,
vanished.
I could not find that. She was smoking. Whoo!
Yeah, she was a dopey Menace too,
She was
right?
in it,
When
yeah.
they did the parody.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
parent, yeah.
mean
She
the
appeared
same
in
exact
it.
scene as Boys. Yeah,
Yeah. So she played the same when
yeah,
they take her
bro.
upstairs, but instead of Cuba, it's Sean Williams. You know, it's that's a
Yeah,
this is it, you know, but man, so like yeah, so lastly, like Nia Long and so Nia Long, I think that's gotta be one of Nia Long's first roles as well, you know, like yeah, this is
right.
before Fresh Prince, this is before
Mm-hmm.
what was it, the Made in America, I think, with Will Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is early fine Nia Long. You know?
Yeah, she was real young.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super young,
but
man.
yeah, everybody in that movie did well,
Yeah,
acting wise.
yeah. I think that way is same can be said with Menace. You know, I think because a lot,
Right.
but what the both films have in common is including the directors is everyone is like it's the first outing. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
like a breakout for like both films and both directors and both of the cast. You know, because to be honest, like as you know, as like to like a nation, like this was the first time you were seeing these teepers. You know, for probably the first time you had heard of Jada Pinkett if you didn't watch like her on TV, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, honestly. So like, you know, we pretty much, anyone know, and this is goes for the audience, pretty much you've most likely seen Boys in the Hood. I think more people have seen Boys than Menace. What would you say
Right.
about that? Yeah.
Yeah. I
I,
I would say Boys in the Hood is more mainstream,
yeah.
more popular than
Mhm.
Menace to Society.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people seen Menace too.
Yeah. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
know, I was surprised that like, a lot of people like I when I did some research, like there's people who have had like reviews of Menace to Society. I was like, well, you've seen Menace? You know?
Right.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, this is like it's really and
I think Menace won a MTV award.
yeah, even got an
Yeah.
award as well. Yeah, for Prince Breakthrough, and like Boys in the Hood, I think even in it got I think it was either it got an Oscar or it got a nomination,
Right.
and plus like a Golden Globe. So they were the cool film with Menace and Boys. Not only that they're both entertaining, groundbreaking, and it's talking about like how the real world is in the hood. It got very good.
Yeah.
Like, they were very well received from critics. Like everyone, they both love both of them. Mm,
Yeah, I believe they both received three stars
3 stars. Yeah, three
or
out of four
more.
stars. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
excellent. That's
That
fine.
yeah. Right.
Yeah, man. But it's fair. But all right, so with that, like the story. So, if I go think like the story of like Boys in the Hood is like it brings it from like they starting off as kids,
Hmm.
so like they're all young, and it shows like how it is, down in Compton, isn't it?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Yeah, it shows like how their everyday life is in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah, and it grows up, and the story then goes on to like they grow up to like teenagers, and like Trey's getting warnings from Nia Long like we should get our stuff and we should just leave, basically get out of
Right.
the ghetto, and then like with Ricky, um he's actually got, I believe it's a scholarship, isn't it, to play football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I remember like they get entangled basically like with the I remember they were at that party, that late night party, that function, and
Oh
like he
yeah.
steps
Outside.
on, yeah, that dude, he steps on Ricky's sneakers, and they may have been Jordans, I don't know.
I think he pushed Ricky.
Yeah,
He
he
pushed
like
Ricky.
barged him and like just out of the way
Yeah.
just for enough. And this is where
And
like this whole shit started. He just like went
right.
out his way, and it's like, what you looking at? It's like I'm trying to find out.
Then
Yeah,
yeah, then Doughboy came
Doughboy.
in like to
Yeah,
protect his brother.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Pulled
basic,
out pulled out the gu-
he
pulled
pulled
out the
out his piece.
gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, pull out the speech.
yeah. Then it just so happens like I think it's gonna be either the next day or a couple of days. Basically they come back, for revenge. And Ricky, who I remember Ricky at
Yeah.
the time, he was on his scratch. He had the scratch card, and I think
Yeah.
he got like a jackpot, but he gets shot in broad daylight.
Yeah. And you know what's messed up? Before that, they were Ricky and Doughboy was fighting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, he's like, you think you're better than me,
that's not. Yeah,
Yeah. So it was sad,
yeah.
like
So it's messed up.
it was messed up. They were fighting. Then after, Doughboy, he sees his brother like, gone. It was real rough.
Yeah,
It was tough,
and
man.
also, his his score. What's it called? His SATs. Yeah, his
Yes.
SATs came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, his SATs came in.
His SATs.
And he
Yeah.
didn't get, man.
He
He
didn't even
didn't
get
get
to.
to see his SAT,
Yeah.
man. He passed. He
I
passed.
know. He
Died
passed.
just like that, man.
Yeah, I think as well. What was really hard to watch was the distraught from. I remember he had a kid. Like Ricky had his wife. Sorry, his
Yeah,
woman, and the
yeah.
mother. When they came back and they saw Ricky's body is like
Oh, I could see,
mutilated.
I could see Ricky's girlfriend like, oh, he
Yeah,
pinched the
the
child, and
child
the
and that
child
was
like
tough,
crying, like,
man.
oh man,
Yeah, I could
yeah,
feel that, man. I was like, yo, that was, man, that was tough. It was hard to watch, really, honestly, man. And you could see even Trey. Trey was just looking at it like I was just with him and now he's gone.
right.
It was insane. It was insane, man.
Traumatized, seeing his
Traumatized.
boy get killed. Then
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
went out with trying to seek revenge,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Honestly.
realized, I'm like, man, I do not want to
Yeah.
go on this
That
route.
yeah. That was one of my favorite scenes from the
Yeah, I
film. When they're
appreciate that
driving and they
scene.
don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna like go smoke. They're gonna
Yeah,
go smoke them, and he's just like, "Let me out," because he just says, "Yeah, let me out," and Trey leaves.
like they knew. Yeah, they knew. I'm like, man, you're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and not
the
for
guy that
this
played
life.
Monster, when he let
Yeah,
him out, like, man, you're not. Yeah, I appreciate that scene.
yeah. You're not for this life. It was an excellent way to end. But that being said, so with like Menace, because Menace takes the story in a very different way.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, even though they're
there's a
similar hood
lot that
films,
happened.
yeah, it's like we're Trey Boyz was just someone who was trying to like get out. He had like his ambition, and that Kane in some ways can be seen as like I'm not saying the villain, but like what I mean.
Kane was just wild.
Kane was wild. What I mean. Some of the stuff you could say it came
Yeah,
back to
he had
him.
no guidance.
He had no one to tell him like,
Right,
yo, do not do
he had no
this.
guidance.
None. Do you know what I mean?
His
And
friends kept telling him. His
yeah,
friends kept telling him. His
yeah,
grandparents kept
yeah.
telling him. The teacher
The teachers
or
told him.
principal, teacher, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think even as well,
His
like what's
girlfriend,
his name? Yeah,
the
Jada Pinkett told him as well.
only
Oh,
person he probably the only person he listened to was her.
was her. Yeah, told him
Yeah,
to split. And even there's that scene
everyone else
where,
like, nah.
yeah, honestly, there's that scene as well when he visits Glenn Plummer's character, the guy from Colors. If you see, this is way back, everything. But he goes to
Or South Central. Yeah,
South Central. That's it. That's the one. Yeah,
yeah.
South Central, and he has that convo with like him, from when it's like you pick up the phone and there's the mirror and he speaks to him. And he
Yeah.
basically tells him
He
like,
said,
yo,
let me speak to Kane.
yeah.
Let me speak to Kane.
Let me speak to
It's
Kane.
like, how are you doing? I'm living. Let me speak to Kane.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And man, it's so hard, man. But yeah, like with Kane, it was, as he said, he was hard headed. He was stubborn. I remember even his
Mm-hmm.
grandparents even
Mm-hmm.
asked him, "Do you care if you live or you die?" And she's there. He's like, "I don't know." You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like he was in a bound of trouble. You know what I mean? I think it was inevitable was what was gonna happen to to Kane rather than Trey. You know, Trey eventually was gonna
Mm-hmm.
get it, and he did. You know what I mean? But man, you know, I wasn't, and let's just say I wasn't sad for Kane at the end because I was like, yeah, this is kind of what happens if you don't listen.
You had it coming.
You had it coming, yeah.
Right. You had it
100.
coming. But
Yeah.
it was messed up that Sharif got killed.
Yeah. Sharif,
Sharif got killed.
man,
He turned his life around.
he
He was
turned his
about to
life.
leave.
He went from gang banging to Islam, you know, and
It's
then
like you're guilty.
yeah,
You know that saying goes, "You're guilty by association."
exactly. You know, it's a true 100% like quote. You know what I mean? You got who you're associating.
You are guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're guilty by association. You are who you hang out with.
Yes. Trust me. You know, if there's 5 friends and you're the 6th one, most likely you will be in the same, you know, habits. Yeah. It's so true. It's so true, man. Honestly. But man, but like with one thing I did, like if we go so stay on the topic with Menace, like I felt Menace had maybe more iconic scenes than Boys in the Hood. You know, like and like because I'm just remembering, like, I can remember ones like when I forgot to name Bill Duke. Shout out to Bill Duke, you know, who's in Predators.
Yeah.
You know, he's in this. Yeah, when he's doing an interrogation. Yeah. That's a classic scene, man. Like the interrogation with Kane. And you know what I love? The way the Hughes brothers filmed it. And like the camera's always rotating.
Oh,
yeah. I love that scene.
You messed up, right?
Yeah.
You know you messed up, right?
Yeah. It's like right? You know, we say, are you sure you came to the store at 8:15?
Kane was just stuttering.
He stuttered. He's like, you see what you did? You know you don't messed up right now.
You messed up, right?
It was a great scene. He was only in just
man, that was first 48 before first 48.
I know. Oh my god. It was amazing. Yeah, I love that scene, man. And then even in Menace, man, like I said that scene as well where the guy of Rock, so Sharif's dad, you know, and he's giving that speech to like Kane. Kane is telling him like, you know, how black men are viewed in America. You know what I mean? And he's telling him like basically this is what people see you as, you know, and if you don't get wind of it, you're gonna get, you know, it's gonna be the end for you, you know. You know what I mean? It's a lot of ones.
Stop being a statistic.
Exactly.
Man. Stop being a statistic.
Yeah. Believe me, man. And even in the one where as well when man, so many cameos in this film. A lot of people, they have to remember that Samuel Jackson, you know, in the flashback.
Yeah.
Yes. You owe me money. You owe me money. You owe me money.
That was not iconic. So what you mean you don't have my money? That shit was hard to watch kind of growing up.
Yeah.
The way he just murdered that guy. I'm like, man.
It was rough. Like that was a point blank, you know.
That was brutal.
That was brutal. Like just playing cards.
Like if you watch the director's cut of that movie, that scene was just
staggering to watch. Yeah. You know what I mean? Honestly. And then even as well, the shootout basically at the end, you know what I mean? When Kane is basically about to he was about to leave.
He was just choking on his blood.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
You know, convulsing, you know, it was because they, you know, and the thing is as well, remember Kane gets shot earlier in the film. Do you remember like when
his cousin gets shot shot in the head.
Yeah. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah,
like
he gets shot in the shoulder, I
in the
think.
shoulder, yeah,
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 he gets
yeah.
shot in the yup.
And he gets to hospital, you know, and you'd think he would have learned his lesson then. You know, he
Joe
survived those moves.
hard headed.
Yeah, he was super hard headed, man. And it's like, you know, never to see what happened to him at the end. It was crazy, man. But like,
It
mm,
just
yeah,
and it's crazy. Old dog at the end, he didn't get killed or anything.
yeah,
I'm like, he was the only one that lived. But
yeah.
I think he got arrested though.
Possibly,
And
yeah. You know,
possibly, yeah.
possibly, yeah, because it ends to black. You know, soon as Kane gets shot, you know, he's like
Yeah.
he's breathing his final breath. It fades to black and credits roll. You know, so yeah, I mean, there's a good chance he possibly got what's it? Odo got arrested.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, man. But when like with like the ending of both films and like with the impact, what would you say? Because came out Boys in the Hood 91, Menace to Society 1993. Remember like around this time, like being black in America was really tough. Like I didn't live it,
Right.
but I know. Yeah,
Especially early
the
'90s.
90s,
It
Rodney
was
King,
the
the
height
Rodney
of the.
King,
It was the height. Yeah,
yeah,
Rodney King. It was
Rodney
the height of
King.
the crack era,
Yeah, crack era. I remember OJ
the
Simpson,
gangster rap era.
OJ Simpson
Yeah.
case when he was running, like, black man running away from the cops. So there was a lot of problems. Mike Tyson was in jail.
Right. Yeah, the early '90s. That was a crazy,
Yeah,
crazy time,
crazy time.
especially being black in America.
Yeah, so these films basically voiced like how, for young blacks, coming up in the system, was for life. But what
Right.
GQ, what do you think overall? Like, no, I'm gonna leave that to the end, like the overall best film, but like the impact. Like if
The
Boys in
impact
the Hood film,
of
what do
both
you think had the
films,
bigger impact? Yeah.
like on me,
Hmm.
or like what movie had a big impact over like the whole world.
Yeah, I'd say like for you, and let's hear from you then after like the whole world. Yeah. Mm.
Honestly, but honestly, what I appreciate most the thing I relate in the hood.
Hmm.
I can relate to society. I didn't grow up in the hood, but
Right.
I appreciate what like everyone went through.
Hmm.
Um, I can relate to the stories more than Menace to Society.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No.
I think Boyz n the Hood had was a more impactful movie than Menace to Society. Not taking anything away from Menace to Society because it's a great film too, but
Yeah.
Boyz n the Hood was like more impactful
Yes.
because it started all the movies after it.
Hmm.
But what about you?
Man, I would say, yeah, I'd have to agree, man. As much as Menace is like, really like in some way shocking, what you see in that film.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's really turned to the max. I would definitely say, and I'm not saying it because it came first. I would say Boys in the Hood, is definitely, to the world, more impactful, because yeah, I think it just paints of like how it was living in there, where the neighborhood is based in,
Mm-hmm.
California. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
it really illustrates like how, the difficulties of like these don't want to be here, but they're just trying to get by. to eventually
Right.
get out of the ghetto, but they can be products of the system, products of the environment, just like how Kane is in Menace,
Yeah.
So I felt Boys did that part better, but yeah, man. Like, so yeah, I'm just thinking, like, with that, like, what do you think of the music? Because I always talk about the music. Like, 90s obviously was dominated
Oh
heavily.
man,
What did you think of the music in
music.
both films?
Hey, music was great in both. Like music was great in both films. Yeah, Ice Cube.
Mm-hmm.
I know Ice Cube was probably on the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tony Tone was on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. Um, then you had, I believe Marvin Gaye was on. Marvin
Marvin
Gaye
Gaye. Yeah, I
was
think.
on. They played a Marvin Gaye song on the early part of Boys in the Hood,
Yeah.
and the music on Menace was like gritty. I love
Yeah.
straight up Menace. I love that song. What else? Oh, what was that other song? Computer Love.
Computer. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Love that song when he's just rolling up. He's just riding in the hood with that green car that he was
Yes.
riding into, riding with, and they play Computer Love. Oh, he just pulls up and sees that girl he messed with, got her pregnant with, got her pregnant.
What started all of
Yeah,
this?
yeah, that's what started.
Yeah.
That's what started it. Yeah, it was that girl. That girl set him up.
That girl, man, that's a trick of a girl, man.
That girl set him up. Oh man.
Oh man.
Who was that guy that got? Who was that guy? Was Stacy? That was his name, Stacy.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay, I think that's what. No, Stacy. Stacy was in the wood. My bad. I'm thinking about a whole different movie. I cannot.
Oh, right.
I cannot even think of that actor's name, but I can. I cannot trust that actor in those movies because every movie he played in, he always like he's like sneaky. He's like
Yeah.
like set it off. Like set it off.
Yeah.
He's got what's his name
Man.
too?
I'm trying to remember his
Players
name.
Club.
But is that kind of like, yeah, you can't be trusted. Like, keep your
I
eyes
cannot
on
trust that actor. I cannot trust that actor. Cannot. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going
Yeah.
off. But yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you? What about you?
Oh man. Who like the music in I love I'm trying to remember because some of them I don't know the actual names because I do feel like Menace has like a lot of rappers that appear, even as like cameos, you know what I mean? Like Spice.
Oh yeah, like
Spice.
Like Spice. Too Short.
Yeah, he's Too Short.
MCA.
MCA. Yep. I was gonna say Tupac. Oh my god! So I was almost gonna say.
Speaking of Tupac,
let's talk about Tupac now.
Since you brought Tupac, let's talk about Tupac.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to be originally supposed to be Sharif.
Yeah.
But he didn't like the character. He didn't like the character. So he beat up the Hugh brothers. I remember seeing the interviews from Yo MTV Raps with him.
Yes.
With all airs and he beat up the Hugh brothers.
Yeah. He
said I was a he said he was a menace to the
I'll be a menace to the Hugh brothers.
That was a dope line. I'm like, I'm sorry, people, but that was a dope line. That
was a line of all time. Legendary.
Oh man!
Oh my god! Like Tupac at that time. Remember, he just came off the heels of Juice, which came out a year before. you know, and and he'd already worked, as I said, like with Tupac, he had worked with John Singleton on Poetic
Yeah.
Justice with Janet Jackson. So I think at this
Right.
time, as I
Oh,
said,
he had 2
Tupac
movies under
was,
his belt.
yeah, he already had 2 like big films because Juice, Poetic Justice, they were, you know, notable films. Tupac was slowly becoming like the superstar he was. So
Right.
he comes into this, and these are directors he shot with before. You know, they did their early music videos, you know, and he came in and he gives him this lame character, you know. And he says he's not doing this character. And they basically fired him, you know, and he was a
Yeah.
menace. He found them and he beat.
Menace to Oh my god. That should be the title of it. I'm sorry. That should be the title of this video. Menace to you, brother.
Tupac had no fear.
Oh
Tupac had no fear.
no.
He was, but like, all right, with this,
No.
how do you think? Because all right, Menace, we're gonna give our final verdict after this, you know. But like, you know, Menace is already a great film already, and that. How do you think this
Right.
film would have been if Tupac Shakur was in this? In Menace.
Man.
Yeah.
If he was Sharif.
Yeah, if he was Sharif. Like, what level do you think that would be on?
If he was Sharif. Menace would be on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. You know, remember his character Bishop from Juice. Imagine he brings that, like, you know, essence into Menace. Whoa, we would have been talking like.
Just imagine the testosterone of the whole film. You have MC8, you have Tyron Turner, you have Lawrence Tate,
yeah,
Clifton Powell.
Yeah. Clifton Powell, yeah. Clifton Powell. I forgot to mention it.
Too Short was in.
Yeah.
Too Short. Yeah.
Jada Pinkett. Oh my God, Jada Pinkett, who had a relationship with Tupac. Yeah.
It would be, oh man.
It would be
now that
phenomenal.
You said it would have been legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary.
I agree,
Yeah.
man. Man, like if you Tupac, man, it would have. It's funny now that, you know, because this is now, man, like over 20 years, 20, yeah, man, 20,000, yeah, coming like 20 plus years something. I still would have been nice, like if it wasn't even in Menace, it would have been nice to see like a follow up film with Tupac, Jada Pinkett, you know, some of these returning like Carrie. It would have been nice just before, you know, Tupac, you know, left us, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like
that would be so epic.
That would have been cool, you know, Tupac's energy, you know, and that whole like, I don't give a F about, you know, the system. I don't give a F about the police. Like him in that movie.
Nothing, anything. Yeah.
Oh, that would have blown it up to
man. There would be so much controversy, so much publicity.
It would have been amazing, man. But man, so with all of that, you know, we talked about like, you know, the characters, the stories, you know, the directors, the location. Like I want to hear GQ, your final verdict. Boyz n the Hood or Menace to, I'm going to say for Menace to Society. Got it. I got it.
Boyz n the Hood or Menace to Society.
Man. If you had to say complete.
Man, what's a better film?
What would be the better film and as a whole, as an overall? Yeah.
John Singleton's Menace. No. John Singleton's Boyz n the Hood or the Hughes Brothers Menace to Society. What is a better film?
Tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's a tight line, you know.
Okay, because how you gonna beat though? the cold open of Menace to
Yeah,
Society.
incredible scenes. I was saying, like, Menace has the most dope,
Like, how they gonna
classic,
beat
iconic
that?
scenes, you know?
But I'm like, Menace had, are you gonna eat your cheeseburger? No, I
Yeah.
got these cheeseburgers. I got these double cheeseburgers. Like,
I'll do
I got these
anything.
double
I'll do
cheeseburgers.
anything. I'm
I got
so
these.
curious.
I got these double cheeseburgers.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got like you feel sorry for who?
Yeah.
Oh man, you got so many one-liners in Menace to
In
Society,
Menace, yeah. Bill Duke.
but in
You know you don't
reality,
messed up now. You know you don't messed up. uh,
the Kane, do you care if you live or die?
yeah.
But in reality, Boys in the Hood was a better film
Yeah.
than Menace to Society because the story it had a better story
Mm-hmm.
and I could relate to it more.
Yeah.
Character, yeah, character development was great.
Mm-hmm.
Actors and actress was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I would have to give it to Boys in the Hood.
Yeah. Yeah. I would
What about you?
I would concur. I would concur. Like, it's so tight. It's like a tight line. If Menace is here, Boys is just like right here, right here. You know, extremely tight. You know, I would
Oh
say,
yeah.
yeah, I would definitely say that in Boys, it's more of a realistic depiction of like how,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how it was in the early 90s for, you know, young African Americans. You know what I mean? Like, remember the time it shows the scene when they get pulled by
Yes.
the cops in Boys, you know, and you get the, you know, you remember the racist cop.
Yeah, and he was black.
Yeah, he was, yeah,
That's
that was a
what
freak
messed
out
up.
moment.
I'm like, man,
Yeah.
you selling out your own
Oh,
people.
I couldn't
You selling
believe
out your
it.
own people.
Yeah.
Like, dang.
It's like, that's why I took this job.
Man, what else?
It was insane, you know. But yeah, you know, them pullovers, you know, like I know that's a regular thing that happens. You know what I mean? Like, even the times I've spent through the states, you know, riding through Atlanta, you know, Florida, you know, NYC. I know that stuff happens, regular stuff, just driving while
It
black.
happens.
Yeah, you know, it happens, you know.
Right.
And I just think the story, yeah, in
You
Boys
just
in the
have
Hood,
to.
yeah, it's just
You just have to be aware of your surroundings.
yeah, 100. You gotta make sure you know your environment, you know. And Boys in the Hood, I think they did that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they showed basically how, you know, this is how it was early 90s, and some of the stuff you see in that movie, like, they still some people are still going through that now, you know, in this day and age.
Even that part where Lawrence Fishburne was talking to everyone in the hood
Yeah,
about like Black Wall Street,
yeah.
and yeah, that scene was powerful too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, when he got all up from the neighborhood and he was talking, yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
It's like
yeah,
you don't have. It's like you don't have to do this. Like you don't have to do it.
yeah.
Like there's so much more you can accomplish in life.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying, and I just feel like that's the main reason I gave like the Boys in the Hood over. That was because the main reason I chose Boys in the Hood was because of the realism. You know, I love Menace to Society, but I do feel at times it's super dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know, Boys in the Hood is dark, but like Menace is like the worst of the worst, you know, that's been put in. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I feel like I do believe like this stuff does happen, but like in Menace, I'm not saying Menace is unrealistic, but at the end of Menace, you won't feel like joy, like too much joy watching that film. What
I
I
feel
mean?
like
Yeah.
I I feel like you can put. I know they're both R-rated movies, but I feel like you can put Boys in the Hood for like on like at school, like
Yeah.
for
For
educational
education.
purposes.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Because yeah, it's
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. I feel like you can like I feel like I learned more. At least I can like
Mhm.
in this film with hope if
Mm.
that's the right way to say like you you can do like you don't have to say or have to be a product. I mean, you don't have to hate or anything like you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's my whole thing. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like yeah, like Boys in the Hood. The good thing about that film is it talks about like drugs, the street life and sex,
Right.
but Boys in the Hood doesn't in a lighter tone. You know what I mean? Like even when they show the
Mm-hmm.
sex, like the sex scenes, it's very like covered up. You know, with Trey,
Mm-hmm.
and these two the girls. But like, in like Menace, as I said, it's just overblown. Like you have scenes when like, Kanan is making the drugs, the violence. Remember when
Oh
he was
yeah.
stomping, he was
It was
stomping the
too
guys.
raw.
Yeah, raw. It was super at the
Yeah.
convenience store in the beginning, and who there's so many scenes that it was just like, man, I was like, can you believe this is going on? When he shot his cousin, remember the
Right.
cousin in the car?
Oh yeah.
That was mad.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
blew his mind, like
Blew
literally
his head off. Yeah.
clean. You know what I mean? That was
That scene was hard to watch. I'm like,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
I did not expect that.
I swear. So like that's why I feel like with Menace, you would have to be you gotta be a right frame of mind to watch that, as entertaining as it is.
Right.
You gotta be a right frame. Like, I put Menace on, this is what you're gonna expect. It's like heavy, very
Right.
heavy subject. As Boys in the Hood, it deals with the subject, but the way it's directed is doesn't
Mm-hmm.
put that like kind of like a gruesome kind of, you know what I mean? It's not as like a heavy,
It's
like,
light.
you know what I mean? Yeah. They'll talk about
Yeah.
it, but it's not shown as much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even where you remember, like at the final, like look how different the finale of Boys to Menace. I mean, remember when Ice Cube, he confronts them, even when like he takes them out, it's shown from like Ice Cube's perspective. It's not as
Yeah.
bloody. It's not as bloody, but when you see Menace and Kane get
No.
shot, it's like boom. Sharif,
It was
all of them.
uncut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was insane. So yeah, that's what I would ultimately say. I totally agree with GQ. I would say overall, if you're thinking of it as a whole, the cast, the story, ultimately, like the finale, like the character, the protagonist actually gets like what he deserves. Like Trey gets out,
Right.
Cuba, and Tyron Turrent, he not so lucky. Yeah, I would have to agree with GQ. Like Boys in the Hood is just slightly better than Menace, and that's not to take away from Menace. Menace is an outstanding
Oh
film.
no, Menace is a great, it's
Yeah,
a phenomenal movie.
yeah, classic for like a first, like for a big like movie like that, for like new directors, for both John Singleton and Menace. It's a successful attempt, what I mean, to make like these movies. Now basically has a great legacy, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, folks, man. So yeah, that's our take on like the the debate of like Boys in the Hood to Menace to Society. We both decided, and I believe majority of people would say like Boys in the Hood as a film wise would definitely like be ahead of Menace to Society. But let us know, let me and GQ Jamaal know what your thoughts about both of these films, as they put it down in the comments. We love to have like discussion, conversations about this in the comment section. So yeah, put it in the comments. About it could be the cast characters, and also, folks, if like, let us know like of any other like kind of hood films. If possibly we could come back on and do like, maybe Juice versus like South Central. It's like there's a lot of like other hood, crime films we could talk about. So yeah, just put in the comment section. So yeah, folks, that is RichManZ and
GQ Jamaal.
yes, come at you again with another collab discussion video. Stay tuned for more upcoming videos, which will be coming very, very soon. Till next time, folks, is peace to the rest. Awesome. And
Peace.